I can do everything you asked except one thing. Your title says the prenup was actually protecting your fortune. That's a twist of loyalty or sacrifice. But you also asked for a story about a wife's betrayal. Those two ideas contradict each other. To avoid confusion, I'm going to follow the emotional betrayal theme you consistently request in your other stories, while still using the title as the hook and building a twist around the prenup. And yes, I'll write in first person, no headings, YouTube-style narration energy, immersive, emotional, 1200 plus words, and no headings. The help me hit 2,000 subscribers part. I'll treat that as the narrator's voice in the ending line, like your usual YouTube story vibe. Here is your story. I should have known something was wrong the moment she pushed the prenup across the table with fingers that trembled just slightly. Too slightly for anyone else to notice, but not too slight for me, the man who had spent 4 years memorizing every nervous tick she tried to hide. Just read it, she'd said. Most men would assume a woman insisting on a prenup was trying to protect herself, her fortune, her inheritance, her assets. And that's exactly what I assumed. I laughed, thinking she was being cautious, practical, maybe even a little mistrusting. But I didn't expect what came next, or what it would cost me. Back then I thought the prenup was the biggest shock of my life. I had no idea the real betrayal was waiting like a knife behind her back, buried deep in shadows I trusted too blindly to see. I should have run. I should have walked away that very night. But love, real or imagined, makes cowards out of even the strongest men. When I signed that prenup, I thought I was protecting her. Turns out she was protecting something else entirely. Months passed. Marriage settled into its quiet routines. Her smiles became shorter, her hugs became distracted, her kisses tasted more like obligation than affection. But I told myself it was work stress, family pressure, anything but the truth. It's funny. Even when your heart senses danger, your mind will invent 100 excuses just to keep the illusion alive. One night everything started to crack. It was almost 1 a.m. I was in bed pretending to sleep when I heard her whispering in the hallway. The whispering wasn't what caught my attention, it was the laugh. Soft, warm, private. A laugh she hadn't used with me in months. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow, she murmured. My chest tightened. My blood went cold. Tomorrow? With who? As soon as she returned to the bedroom, I closed my eyes and listened to her slide into bed like nothing had happened. I lied awake until sunrise. The next day I noticed things, not new things but things I had ignored. She always turned her phone upside down. She took calls in the bathroom. She suddenly cared about how she looked even when she was just running to the store. Little things that, on their own, mean nothing but together meant everything. But the universe didn't leave me guessing for long. 2 weeks later I found the letter. It was stuffed between the couch cushions, probably fallen from her purse. A single sheet of paper creased at the edges. I unfolded it with a pit forming in my stomach. It wasn't a love letter. It wasn't even written by her. It was written by a lawyer. And the words at the top hit me harder than any confession could have. Regarding distribution of assets in accordance with Mr. Hale's estate plans. My name. My assets. My estate. I read the whole thing in stunned silence. She had been meeting with lawyers. About my money. The prenup, that contract I thought she insisted on to protect her own fortune, was structured entirely around protecting mine. Or at least that's what it looked like on paper. But the meeting notes written underneath told a different story. Client expressed interest in ensuring protection of assets if husband becomes legally incapacitated or incapable of making financial decisions. Incapacitated? My heart hammered. My wife wasn't protecting my money. She was planning for the moment she could take control of it. I confronted her that night, letter in hand. She froze in the doorway, makeup still perfect from wherever she'd been. Somewhere she swore she wasn't going. What's this? I asked, voice shaking despite my effort to stay calm. Her eyes flickered. Panic. Guilt. Calculation. Where did you find that? That's your answer? She swallowed. It's not what it looks like. No, I said. It's exactly what it looks like. We stood in silence so thick it felt like drowning. Finally she spoke. Okay, she whispered. You deserve to know. And then she said the sentence that broke me more than any affair could have. I was trying to protect us, me and him. The floor dropped beneath me. Him. I repeated. Who the hell is him? She closed her eyes. There are moments in life that split you in half, the person you were before, and the hollow version left after. This was mine. She told the truth in fragments, like each piece tasted bitter in her mouth. She'd been seeing someone else for months. Someone who had promised her security, money, a future. Someone who convinced her that I was vulnerable, naive, too trusting for my own good. Someone who told her it would be smart to prepare for the day I made a mistake that cost me everything. He didn't just want her. He wanted my assets, my company, my home, everything I had built long before she ever walked into my life. So the prenup? I whispered. Insurance, she said softly. Not just for me. For him. A burn spread through my chest, slow, suffocating, final. Get out, I said. You don't understand. Get out before I say something I can't take back. She stepped toward me, reaching out like I was the one betraying her. I did love you, she whispered. Then why wasn't I enough? She didn't answer. Some answers are too ugly to say out loud. She packed quietly, wiping tears she had no right to shed. When she walked out the door, she didn't look back. Not once. And I realized that was the real answer to my question. Love hadn't faded. It had never existed, not in the way I believed. The prenup I thought protected her fortune. It was never hers. It was always mine. Her lover wasn't taking her away from me. She was leading him to me. A guide to everything I had. A roadmap to every weakness. A betrayal designed with precision. Not emotional. Not accidental but strategic. Cruel. Cold. Calculated. For weeks I wandered my own home like a ghost trapped in memories that didn't belong to me. It's strange how a place can stop feeling like yours the moment the truth moves in. Eventually I contacted a lawyer, one of my own. And when I explained the situation, he said something I'll never forget. Some people marry for love. Some marry for survival. And some marry because they think your future looks better than theirs. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was painfully true. I am healing now, slowly, clumsily, unevenly. I'm rebuilding trust in myself before I even think about trusting someone else. I'm learning to breathe without wondering where she is or who she's with. And if you're hearing this, if you're watching my story unfold, just know this. Sometimes the person who guards the door to your heart is the same person who unlocks it for someone else. But we survive. We rebuild. And we rise. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for listening.